G'day guys, welcome to episode 3. In this episode we're going to be making the magneto drive. So let's get to work.
The mag drive's a little self-contained unit that drives the magneto on the right hand side of the engine here. It has its own lubricating system and it has a gear train in there. I made all the gears earlier on before I made this video, but it'll all sort of get explained along the way.
This is a couple of moulds that I've made to get started with the mag drive. This one I've put a bit of time and effort into because it's going to be the front cover. So I want to try and have the raw cast appearance and have it looking sort of as original as I can get it. So yeah, I've put several layers of paint on it, sanded it back nice and smooth, and it should part out of the sand really nice. This one's just to actually get this rough shape in aluminium. So basically just need a billet that I can machine all surfaces on. So this one doesn't need to be as pretty really. So I'll show you what I mean with the finished result with the casting. This is the casting I've done off the first one, and it's come up with a fairly smooth, uniform cast looking surface, and it should machine up quite well actually. By the time I put in the correct shape and everything, it should really give me the result I'm looking for. Because this one looks a bit ratty at the moment. It's only just fresh out of the sand. It's got quite a lot of dags and all that, but the actual casting itself is good and solid. It doesn't have any shrinkage or anything in it anywhere. So I've got a good piece to work with. We just need to do a fair bit of machining on it.
It's been a long time since I was at school learning about Pythagoras' theorem, but it does come in handy eventually. As you can see, there's a lot of operations that need to be carried out on this part. It absolutely needs to be machined on every single surface inside and out, which creates challenges when it comes to actually clamping it and keeping it all symmetrical with the last operations that you've just made. So yeah, she's a bit of a head scratcher. Just doing a bit of a test fit here to make sure everything's fitting on the thing as planned, so we can keep carrying on with the operations to make it look pretty. Now it's time to focus on the cover. So yeah, this is quite a difficult part to machine as it turned out. It suffered a lot from distortion, so posed a few problems.
Okay, so this is our finished result here. We've got all these castings all machined up now. They're looking quite good. So we had to get pretty inventive with how to clamp a lot of this stuff in the mill. It's getting down pretty thin, and when you try to use traditional clamping methods, it tends to distort the parts, and then when you're machining them, you end up with a few mistakes, which I did actually do. I clamped this one down and the actual part distorted, And then when I was in these machining operations here, I realised my levels weren't matching up with each of the circles there. So this part actually, I tried to salvage it, but it just got too thin in the end, and ended up having to cast up another one and start from scratch. So a little bit of a setback there. But in the end, we managed to get it all together. So we got our pins, some gears, just look for the timing mark on that one, which is there, and timing mark on that one, which is there. And put this one in here. And this one just sits here. That one's got to go on the end of the magneto shaft, so it's just sort of floating in free space at the moment, but it all actually rotates quite well. And then our cover goes on top, like so. So it all snaps together quite good and still spins quite freely inside. So gonna call the magneto drive unit finalised. So yeah, we'll move on to the oil pump next, I think.
Keep on machining.